Hello everybody, this is Van from Aorus. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new motherboard. This is the Z390 Aorus Extreme. Alright guys, so this is exactly what the Z390 Aorus Extreme looks like, but before we continue on, I want to fill you guys on a little secret. In the past videos, we're always getting questions on how we light up our motherboards when it's not plugged into a system, and surprise, here is the secret. This little connector here, we just need to plug it into the lighting demo port, and bam, look at that. RGB, powered off of an external battery. So now that it's all looking nice and pretty, let's talk more about the board. Alright, so some of the big improvements that we've done for this generation is that we've upgraded to a 16-phase power design to better support the 9th gen Core i9 processors from Intel. Also paired with that, we have the latest generation of our fin array heatsink. If you guys can take a closer look, you can see all the fins here with a very large, very massive heatsink. And I don't know if you guys can see, but underneath we have very thick thermal pads to keep everything running nice and cool. Moving down, you can see some of the other changes that we've done for the design on this board. It's completely redesigned M.2 thermal guards. Again, these keep your new SSDs running very cool and running at optimal performance. Also over here, we have an upgraded ESS Sabre DAC. This uses the ESS 9218 DAC, so this delivers a better audio experience for you audiophiles, for you gamers, or for you movie watchers out there. Heading over to the rear of the motherboard, this is something you're going to see on some of the other Aorus boards. This includes a full backplate to keep your system nice and rigid, especially that this is a really heavy motherboard, so you're going to need that extra support to make it durable. Moving to the rear, you can see we have a pre-installed I/O shield, just like all the other latest Aorus motherboard releases. In terms of ports, we have USB-A, USB-C, Thunderbolt 3, HDMI, as well as your audio jacks. So that was a quick overview of the board. I'm going to hand this over to our product marketing manager, Matt, to talk more about the performance.
Hey guys, Matt here for another deep dive. This time we have our Z390 Aorus Extreme. This board has everything and then some, so we'll try to get to as much of it as possible. So I talked to you guys a lot about form meeting function, and this board is truly the embodiment of that. It looks great, but it also functions, and there's a reason behind everything that we did on this board. So of course, anybody picking up this motherboard is probably gonna pair it with a 9900K, and that means you have 8 cores and 16 threads to deal with and a whole lot of power consumption. So I know Van kind of touched on the 16-phase VRM, and it is a true 16-phase. Each phase is independently controlled. But what I'm going to talk about is the heatsink design and the heat pipes. So this motherboard actually has 3 heat pipes running through the VRM section. The first one is kind of here in the front, touching the chokes, and this is an area that's often touching the heatsink, but it's often not cooled with an actual heat pipe. So we have one heat pipe going there, and then we have one that you can't see that is a direct touch heat pipe going through the VRM itself. And then we have another heat pipe that actually snakes around to the back and touches the back of the PCB and the back plate. So all 3 of these in conjunction with the finned heatsink design is going to be plenty of cooling for your 8 cores, 16 threads, especially if you're overclocking, you want to go up to 5G or above, you want AVX instruction sets. This is basically the top end cooling you can do until you go into water cooling, which is something we'll probably talk about in an upcoming video, just to give you guys kind of a tease. If you've been following along with our videos, and especially my deep dives, you know that I talk a lot about listening to customer feedback and putting it into the board, and that's exactly what we did again with the Aorus Extreme. So things like right-angled 24-pin connectors, right-angled USB 3.1 front panel header, a little cutout here for the SATA ports, and then a right-angled 6-pin power connector. So all of these add to the aesthetics of the board, but they also make building a lot easier. You can snake your cables through any grommets that you have in your case a lot easier if it's this right angle. And you can kind of hide all of those SATA cables, your front USB, and if you get right angles, you can actually go straight into the back of the case. So it's little things like this, little touches like this that we try to incorporate that comes directly from your guys' feedback. A lot of people have asked for the right angle 24-pin and USB. We'll see if maybe we can get a right-angled 8-pin on one of the future boards. So leave any of your comments of things you'd like to see on our next flagship board in the comments below, and I'll kick it back to Van.
And the greatness doesn't stop there. Out of the box, we're including a ton of extra goodies to make the Z390 Aorus Extreme a more valuable option. Check this out. This is a brand new thing that we're including, the Aorus RGB Fan Commander. This is the first time that we've made such a product like this, and we're including this out of the box with a purchase of the Z390 Aorus Extreme motherboard. So check this out. This controls all the RGB fans that you can connect to the motherboard. You can control fan speeds as well as customize the RGB lighting that you can connect to the motherboard so your system looks nice and flashy. All right, let's set this off to the side and see what else we get. So yeah, another thing that we include out of the box are brand new redesigned Wi-Fi antennas. So check this out. It actually, does it fold? It does fold. So you can stick it to the side of your system and have it like that, or you can fold it out and just leave it on top. This connects to the rear of the board to better deliver Wi-Fi range. All right, so those are some of the accessories that you get with the Z390 Aorus Extreme. That wraps up this video. If you guys want to see more content like this, you can follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as YouTube, or you can visit us on our website. My name is Van from Aorus, and we'll see you guys in the next video.